we go. Even if you join Google Meet, you still need to do attendance because Google Meet attendance is not accurate. So I try to go back and forth and look. So if people forgot to do it and you're on my Google Meet attendance, obviously I don't count you absent. But again, it's not reliable. So make sure that you do your attendance on Fridays. I mean, you should do it every day, but remember, okay? Cool, there's that reminder. So today, we are gonna jump into our new unit, which this whole week, like I said, is dedicated to pop art. I love pop art. Again, I say this every week. I guess I don't teach a unit I don't like because that would be kind of boring for me. But pop art it's really, really one of those units that it's kind of a art movement that just keeps on going. So we are going to start today with learning about what pop art is and then learning about an artist named Jen Stark. So of course, the awesome discussions. But this, again, it's super simple, guys. It's like basically free 10 points. So the first question you should be able to answer by the end of these 2 quick videos is define pop art in your own words. Okay, you should be able to tell me what is pop art. And then the second question is like an opinion question. Like, what do you think about Jen Stark's style? Which I'm going to show you in a second. So we're going to start with pop art. And so I'm going to mute myself and play this first. If you guys could put your iPads down, that'd be awesome.
These are 4 of my favourite things. Bananas, my red coat, tomato soup, and comic books. But what do they all have in common? 2 little words. Pop and art. Pop art is more than an art movement. It's a lifestyle, a craze, a way of looking at the world. But what is pop art? Pop is young, bold, and fun. This is life in the 40s. It's a bit grey. In the 50s, people wanted plastic and glamour. They wanted to have a good time. Buy more, spend more. Don't just watch TV, be on TV. Now you can listen to the Beatles and Elvis, watch cartoons, eat popcorn, drive cars, and become famous. Now it was pop art, all about culture. After all, pop art is popular art, art for all. But who were the pop artists? Richard Hamilton, this guy, said pop art was low cost, young, witty, glamorous, and mass-produced. Hamilton made collages using imagery he found in glossy magazines. Lifting images from films and advertising was completely bonkers at the time. This is one of the famous Marilyn portraits by Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol. This guy. See, a cool guy. For Andy, art was a product. The same as a production line of Coca-Cola bottles or Camel soup. He liked to use bright colours and silk screening techniques to produce art on a huge scale. Pretty clever, I'd say. Pop art is revolutionary! Pop artists were competitive. Who could do what first? Warhol had his advertising. Lichtenstein had his comic books. Palazzi had his collage. And Minnie Mouse. Wait, let's go back to Lichtenstein. He used Band-Aid dots to make his artwork look like comics, like the ones you get in newspapers. Female artists were also rocking the pop art trend. This is The Only Blonde in the World by English painter Pauline Boty. Pauline added fun into her art and was a bit of a rebel. Girl power, Pauline. Pop art came out of the gallery too. Nicola L. took this big red coat around the world to get people to get involved with her performance. This made a real pop crowd, not the celebrity faces in other forms of pop art. Pop art can also be found all over the world. In Iran, Parviz Tanavoli was a sculptor and painter. Like other pop artists, he made his art out of things that looked like they could be thrown away. In New York, Jean-Michel Basquiat remixed it with hip-hop and street art. Pop is on TV, on the radio, and on the internet. Like right now. Does that mean I'm pop art? Well, there's one thing Andy Warhol and I can agree on. I don't know where the artificial stops and the real starts.
So that's a quick introduction to pop art. I don't know what it is about her British accent. It's so cute. It's literally, I mean, it's a movement that like continues because it's popular culture. So whatever was popular culture in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, a lot of stuff now is considered contemporary art, but it would still fall under pop art if it's popular culture. So the next artist I'm going to show you, we are basing our drawing on today and part of our final. She kind of falls in the world of graffiti, pop art, contemporary art. She's really up and coming right now. She has a lot of work that, like, she was, MTV used her work for a logo last year. But her name is Jen Stark, and she creates these like crazy drip paintings. So I'm gonna just kind of let this show you what she does. She is commissioned or hired to do work all over the world, and do a lot of installations, which means it's not necessarily a mural because it's not on a wall, but it's like a sculptural installation piece. So you'll see what she does here in this shopping mall that she was hired to do, which I believe was in Chicago. So this is pretty quick as well. Give me 1 second.
The joy of this day is shared by many. The extraordinary group of curators and artists who believed that the Arts Initiative was important, and ultimately they made it so. Thank you for the incredible talents that each of you has brought to this day.
A lot of my work is kind of meditation based, even though I don't like try to make it that way. I like incorporating science and mysteries because I think mysteries are so beautiful, and I want that to come across in my artwork. It's very freeing to be able to go crazy on a wall and not have to like abide by, you know, your sketch or like this has to be here and this has to be here. I want to do this, but I want it to just drip all over the escalator and sort of take it over. And they, you know, the Arts Initiative was like, do it. Just do whatever you want. Go for it. And I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
forget all that you know.
Right now, I'm penciling in big psychedelic waterfall.
When the windows won't let you out, you'll stop. The water outside, well, it wasn't a flood at all. We were just so petrified by heavy drops of rain, never stopping their fall. The trace of the moon, it's a magnet to pull you on. So stay far away from the lonely light. You're
So the finished sculpture will hang in between these two floors. It'll be sort of like this colorful wormhole, and when you're standing at a certain point, you can look up inside of it and you'll see like this crazy rainbow gradient tunnel.
to make you forget who you really are. Peeking at the outside world with the door ajar.
It's all white right now, but I'm going to paint each layer a different color. There's 48 layers in total. It'll be like one solid color each ring.
Peeking at the outside world with the door ajar.
Why do you look so scared? The sculptures and the murals are just the conclusion of my meditation.
Sorry if that's glitchy, you guys. Hopefully you got the gist of it. So that's Jen Stark's work. And again, she does paintings and installations and sculptures all over the world. Your discussion, 2 questions. So I'm going to give you like 5 minutes right now until 8:25. 8:25, I'm going to talk about the project. So I should see everybody going into Schoology and completing that discussion right now, please. I'm doing this because a lot of people are forgetting to do it. And again, it's 10 free points essentially. And it's just interacting with the work. So if you'd go in right now and do that, that'd be awesome. So I should see everybody. Hopefully everyone has their iPads. Sure that this is. Okay. All right. So we are we're week 5 already, aren't we? That's crazy. So in Monday's folder, which is obviously where you found your discussion, is also where we are going to find all of our information for today's sketch drawing. And this entire thing is based on Jen Stark today. Let me go down here. I do have a couple of things attached for you today. The first one is actually Jen Stark coloring book pages. And the reason that I have that attached is it gives you a lot of different drip drawing ideas. Also, some people like to throw that stuff into IBIS Paint or Notability and like mindlessly color, which I don't blame you. I'm a big coloring person too. I also have the week 5, this week's Turn-In. So if you want to download that already, you can do that today. So then that's in Notability and ready for you. But this is what we're doing. So we already watched those. Let's get out of this. Here's some of Jen Stark's examples. I don't know if you noticed her nails in the video, but even her fingernails were painted just like her drips. She surrounds like her whole life with her work, which is a lot of artists do that. Here's the MTV logo that they used based on her. She's got clothing, all sorts of stuff. So there's some examples. Am I super glitchy?
You're okay. It's not intentional. This is just the world we're living in today.
I'm sorry, guys.
Well,
so I have this next slide to show you some examples of some pop art pieces, because you're going to decide today on something pop art that's going to go with your Jen Stark drawing. Now remember, pop art is popular culture. So it's literally like popular. What is in your world today? What is online? What is something that you watch on TV? What are like characters that you like? Notice Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse has been a pop art icon for years because he's been around for years. Same with soda cans, things like that. Here's some more examples. Think of characters again. Coffee, like Starbucks, Caribou, Dunkin', that's all popular culture. I think my stepdaughter goes to Dunkin' every day. This is what we're doing. We are going to create a pop art Jen Stark piece where we are creating a silhouette. Silhouette is a fancy word for outline. Okay, a lot of times a silhouette is completely black. I don't know if y'all did this in preschool, but I did, where they like trace. Jones, did you do this? Where they like traced your profile?
yeah.
And then you cut it out?
Has it hanging up on our wall. It's so creepy.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy, and it's something that like for some reason they do everywhere. So some of you may have done that, where they literally traced you like on a black construction paper and you cut it out. That's a silhouette. It's a basic outline without the details. This on slide 5 is it's a literal tutorial on how to do this project if you need those instructions via video. The next slide has drawing drips demo, because y'all are going to be drawing drips. So if you notice on here, on the left-hand side of your paper, well, I don't care if you flip it, you know me, I'm pretty flexible. On the left-hand side is the silhouette that is completely empty, but the background is Jen Stark drips. On the right side, the silhouette is full of drips and the background is empty. Some students wanted to color in their silhouette a solid color and their background. Totally fine. Sorry, I hate hearing myself being glitchy. It sounds stupid. I apologize. So here's how to draw drips. There's also that coloring book to show you different ways. Here's some examples from that coloring book. We go here. Here are some student examples. You're going to choose a pop art symbol for your silhouette. Notice there's really nothing you can't do. most things can be spun into a pop art symbol. Here are some more examples. Now, here's the thing that you need to realize. So the apple is wrong, and that's okay. Because if you flip it, it's opposite. But it's also up a little higher. But I like this one because the background is black and the apple is black, so it's a nice contrast. How you start. You got to start with a pencil, and you are going to want to pull out your piece of paper because it's going to show you how to transfer it. So if I go back to this video, the video will show you how to transfer it from side to side. I'm not going to, hopefully it's muted. I'm going to mute it. So it's going to show you, because you want your silhouette to be in the exact same spot on both sides. So you're only going to draw it once. And notice how she's drawing her paw and she's outlining it with a really thick pencil line because you need that graphite. Now she's going to fold it in half. And you should be able to see through it. And she's going to trace over it. Because once she does, it's going to push it through to the other side. Voila. Exactly the same spot. Does everybody see how that works?
Yep.
Okay, and then she's outlining it with a Sharpie. Oh, I hate how glitchy I am. So, let me go here. I also have the instructions step by step, by picture and written, if that's easier for you. You can use marker or Sharpie. Here are some ideas for subject matter if you need some help. Again, the directions. And then my student teacher from October, she was awesome. She also threw in some instructions. Notice her intricate drips. And then you can see the progression, just like that. Now I have more examples of student work. The goal is that you have created your own version, your own style that sets you apart from everybody else. What are you going to choose for your pop art symbol? How are you going to create your drips? How are you going to stand out from everybody else while you're completing something that is very similar? Does this make sense to everybody?
I think so.
Okay, it's a little different, but by the time, I've done like 10 of these this year because they're very therapeutic. I enjoy the coloring of the drips. Notice here, like I have a few students who also went the route. And just notice the difference. It looks so cool where they've, I love all of these, don't get me wrong. But there's something about that darkness that I really, really enjoy. I just think it's like, boom, beautiful. Notice some of the students did want to keep it in the same direction instead of opposite. It's up to you. We all cool?
I think so. So the remainder of class time is to provide them the chance to either finish up anything from last week or start on their Gen Start assignment.
Yes, absolutely. And again, this slideshow, you guys need this. It's very beneficial. It has like the video. It has examples of the drips. Notice how different all of these students' drips are just in 6 projects. So if everybody's cool, I will set you free to work.
All right. It is officially work time. The rest of class is yours, so please do that as well. And if you have questions, please let me know.
Caitlin, do you have a question, honey?
Can you take the paper out of here? Oh,
yes.
That's a very good question. So in the back of your folder, if you flip it to the very back of the edge, you're going to notice that there are some brackets.
Yep.
And you want to fix those brackets all the way up to the North Pole so they're pointing straight directly up. But I also do have the benefit of letting you know that there is some loose leaf paper over here in the corner. But for future reference, for you to add it in, all you have to do is just lift that back end and be able to. Right. If you do want loose leaf instead of fighting with those 3 brackets, there is some extra loose leaf up here.
Thank you, Miss Jones.
You're welcome. It is 3-ring binder paper, so it fits right back into your folder.
You're always so prepared.
Choices.
Is this slide helpful if I leave this one up?
It's a good one for ideas of opportunities of using really any outlet